this still okay?
You know, I think you're okay.
What if I do the hokey pokey and turn myself around?
No, that's what it's all about.
Mm.
No, but I think we need to take a shot for that.
All right.
Here's the goddamn hokey pokey.
Oh, well, shit.
Could you turn yourself around after this?
1 minute, guys.
How'd that feel?
Normal. Felt normal, but regular.
Did it kind of feel hokey pokey though? Did
More-
you feel like
more on the pokey side?
All right. Question 1. What the fuck are you doing with your life?
There's simply no answer for that. Right now, I'm watching Tom OCD the shit out of his drum tracks. That's today, at least. That's today.
But I mean, you know, tomorrow. There's always tomorrow.
God, tomorrow, huh?
What's going on today? What are we doing today?
Today we're tracking drums, and this is the final tracking day of Tom's sessions. We did 2 days last week, and then this would, right? 2 days last week?
Yeah.
And this is the
Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, this is the third day, and we only got 2 songs left, Hammer and Tongs, and the last track, which is Restless Spirits. And Hammer and Tongs has been tracked, and they're kind of going in doing edits, and there's Tom's actually in there right now doing a couple punch-ins for cleanup and fills and whatnot. So that one's about finished. And then we'll just have the 1 tune left, and that's it. Drums are done, which is the biggest pain in the ass of this whole recording deal anyway. So then we move on to guitars, which is just...
It's
Just
the biggest
being
pain in the ass.
real honest.
It's the next biggest pain in the ass.
The second biggest pain in the ass, because we're just gonna be drunk.
I mean, I guess for the record, what's your plan for what's going on? Like, what do you expect as far as making it, everything after?
Yeah, well, I'm really excited for guitar tracking. I've only really truly recorded guitars once before, and that was with this band, and we did it with Zach, who's going to be mixing for us and all that this time. We went down to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and it was all done at once. Though it was one big, $1 million studio or whatever, and we were all in separate ISO rooms with headphones and all that shit, and we were playing at the same time, which was really neat. But it was different than I expected. This time, we'll be doing just one instrument tracked at a time. So Brennan, our esteemed interviewer, for you guys watching, will be going first, and he's going to lay down all his guitars.
I'm going to fuck it up.
He's probably going to fuck it up a whole lot. But ideally, we're also going to fix those fuck-ups. And then I will go in after him and do the same thing and lay down all the rhythm stuff, and then lay down all the rhythm stuff like 3 more times after that, and then solos and leads and overdubs and whatever after that. But the idea is that we've done a lot of homework and done a lot of prepping, and hopefully this album just doesn't sound like dog shit once we get it done. And so I'm real pumped to, and we're doing that like in our own practice space and stuff, so somewhere we're familiar with, and they're just really are minimal rules, which is excellent for us. So it's gonna be a really good time. Really pumped about it. And then once that's done, we do vocals, and then we send it off to Zach, and it's out of our hands. At that point, it gets mixed and then mastered, and then we get it, do work with artwork and all that stuff after that, and more merch, and working on booking shows and whatever. So it'll be good once it's done, because I just want to go play shows again. This fucking guy, a little deja vu there. This is familiar.
Are you talking about that deja vu?
It's a glitch in the Matrix. That's it. He's not driving. It's okay. Did I answer the question? Is that it? Did I do it right?
You're an utter failure. What does this record mean to you?
I never made one before. Stagecoach is the first real band I've ever been in. I played my first real gigs, my real shows with Stagecoach. And, apart from like dicking around at home with riffs at home and recording those, like I've never been a part of an actual recording before. So this is really, really exciting. And it's cool because as far as we're trying to do, it's not just going to be like a shitty demo. Like it's going to be an actual full-length, quality sounding album with a concept, with, we've got a lot of time rehearsed under our belt, and it's really exciting. I mean, I've never done this before, so it's really cool. Like my first actual recording is going to be with a group that's wanting to actually do something with it. So it means a lot to me, actually. It's just really, really cool.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Alright, so you're pretty new to the band, and there were a lot of songs that we were doing before you were in the band.
Yes. Most of them.
Most of them. How have you went about like connecting to them? Because, I mean, you have, so.
Yeah, well, they're all good tunes. I mean, I'm a full believer in the Church of the Riff. I mean, they're all good songs. They're well written. They're fun to play, and there are some of the guitar parts that clearly you wrote that I'm trying to learn these riffs, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I would have written this like this. What is this asshole doing? My hands don't stretch as much as his spider monkey skeleton hands do. And I had to learn how to figure that shit out. And it's cool, like playing someone else's riffs, because it kind of makes your brain twist in a different way.
Yeah.
But, they're fun. And then, some of those earlier songs, I just had to learn them. They were pretty cut and dry. You learn the songs, you play the songs, and just try to do the best job you can of not fucking it up on stage. Some of the later songs, latter day ones we worked on, they weren't finished, like Hammer and Tongs for one. Restless Spirits is another one. That was stuff that we, Hunter and I were newer members, and there was contribution from everyone to collaborate and finish those tunes up. So that was really cool. Everyone got to kind of inject a little bit of their own style and their background of playing and their influences into that. And that was a lot of fun too, being able to be a part of the writing process with this band. But for the tunes that were already written, they're fun. They're good songs, and that's what it all comes down to. Is does it stick in your head when you leave practice, or as an audience member, when you leave the show, are you humming the melodies and the riffs and stuff? And I think that a lot of these songs do that. When you finish listening to a Sabbath album or an Iron Maiden album, I mean that there's something that sticks in your head for the next 5 hours. And I like to think that there are parts of this album that'll do that to people. That's all I've got.
Oh yeah. I mean, you kind of answered this one with your last one, but I wrote it out, so
you're obligated to ask me.
I'm obligated to ask. So, like, knowing that Stagecoach was a band before you were in the band, like, how did you feel about like joining in on like the songwriting process? Like, what was your take on that? Were there specific things that you wanted achieve with it that, like, kind of your take on the idea? Were there riffs that you already just sort of like, when we asked you, like, is this this is the perfect band for me to do this riff?
I didn't come into Stagecoach with any riffs in mind or stuff that I'd written in the past that I injected into it. Not a single one. In my earlier days in the band, I was a little hesitant to put forth too many ideas. I mean, if we were working on changing something or the idea came up, then I would give my opinion on it. But I wasn't making big steps to make changes in the songs. It wasn't really my place at that point. I'd been, if I was in the band for like a month and a half or something, I don't need to be the guy who's like, oh man, this song y'all have had for 5 years. Bullshit. It's bullshit. Let's change all of it. Here are all these riffs that I've been sitting on since I was in high school. We should just play those instead, No, that's not really appropriate. But, as I learned the songs that are already written, and we played some shows, we went on the road, and we got into working with some of the unfinished songs. What are you looking at?
There you go. You'll see.
Jesus Christ.
You'll see. What I'm looking at is this. This is a bottle opener.
Oh,
it's
that
a bear's face.
It looks like it has lipstick on.
It's a bear's face, and I saw that, and I just went, wow. I hope that Steven sees that.
I noticed it earlier, but I didn't, I wish this goddamn bar had a foot rest on it. Jesus Christ. What were we talking?
You joining?
Oh yeah. So later on, when we
were talking about, I was thinking pull off the
when we got to some of the tunes that weren't finished yet, and it came to, tweaking the riffs that were already in there, and maybe making adjustments to them, or adjusting the arrangements of the songs, or writing new parts and new riffs to finish the tunes out. By that point, I'd been in the band for a good while, and I was much more comfortable with, throwing my opinion in there. And there was one night in particular for Hammer and Tongs where we wrestled with that song for like 2 or 3 practices in a row and had a lot of trouble thinking of where to go with it. And Hunter and I, we ended up meeting up at my place, just us two, and just trying to smash out some kind of riff to move to the next part of the song. Man, it took us 2 or 3 hours of us just dicking around, and we ended up just getting so pissed, just so mad at the fact that we couldn't write the riff that we wanted in our minds that we wanted to hear. That we just got fucking furious and then wrote the riff out of sheer goddamn anger. And it was so much simpler than what we had been trying to do. We were overthinking it, we were overplaying it, and eventually it came down to it just came out, it just happened. And you'll hear it on the album, boys and girls. But yeah, as longer I was in the band, the more comfortable I was with writing. And now that the record's written, when we move on to the next project and the next tune and the next album, then yeah, it's gonna be a blast helping to write that. So I'm really, really excited about that too. Like, just from getting shot with guns in, like, just also still being in the duel. So I really appreciate that. Was that 2 at once? It's like a ballet. I started this, everybody. Which one of those beers is mine?
Hold on a second. Yep, thank you. That's your beer. It's like Lego beer. There we go. musical booze. There we go.
And that's how it's done.
So do you have any final thoughts?
Is that the last question?
Actually, yeah, like, do you have...
God damn, how did Hunter take fucking 40 minutes to do his part of the interview?
He took 20, and you might actually be overstepping him.
Oh, no shit? Yeah, I feel like I just got
He
here.
put exactly 20 minutes into that. Do you have any final thoughts on it? Like, just anything you want to say, that cool stuff, or heartfelt, or balls? You want to just throw your balls
Just pull
on
my
the
balls
bar?
out and put them on the bar?
You're welcome to it.
God, for God's sake, I know I'm welcome to it. That's not a question. No, I don't guess so, man. But I keep wanting to do this the whole time. This has been here, and I just had this desire to wear this as a huge glove.
What the fuck did you do it?
It reminds me of Brennan's mother.
Valerie Ray is a saint. Okay, as Hunter said, she's a mensch. She's a super mensch. It's okay.
Met her, she's real nice. No, I don't have fucking shit else to say to you, Brennan.
All right.